In this short video, I'm going to go through the principles of sales needed to deliver six-figure income streams. These steps are critical to your business success, so please pay attention. If you're anything like me, I love to avoid sales. This didn't just happen at the start of my journey, it's still with me, even after hundreds of thousands of pounds in sales. Trust me, I know. For me, I think selling has always had a bad reputation. I've tended to hold on to the view of the scammy salesperson tricking people to buy with their last pennies. Maybe you've experienced this yourself. Someone convincing you to buy against your better judgment power. Someone suggesting you put it on a credit card because they're certain you'll make it back, but you don't. Well, yes, I've experienced that. Luckily, I've been strong enough to say no and walk away, but it does leave a bad taste in the mouth. In fact, more than that, it left me thinking, I hope no one ever sees me that way. I guess this is why this entire coaching business ecosystem approach to business exists. I want it to be about people buying rather than me selling. I want it to be win, win, win. A win for me and a win for everyone as things improve, particularly the customer. With this approach to truly understanding your customer, leading with value and using my Split Freebie approach, I think it can be. In this short video, I'd like to start by positioning the 4 key stages of every sale. Later in the program, we'll then look more specifically about how to sell one-to-one and particularly how to sell on webinars. Even before we dive in, it might make you feel better about the prospect of selling as a result of my learning, which has highlighted 4 principles. Firstly, there are people out there who need help and are looking for what you have to offer, and they want to buy it. There are customers out there doing their research, comparing providers and lining up to buy. You just have to get on their radar. And we do this by designing an omnipresent strategy. Secondly, you're not misleading people. You're taking the time to educate them on your offer and helping them make an informed decision. You're doing this by providing value and giving them a real opportunity to test your offer and learn who you are. Thirdly, you're a person with integrity and you want to help. You're not trying to dupe someone out of their money. You're trying to make a fair exchange of value. Time for money or knowledge for money. Your biggest driver is adding value. When someone pays for your knowledge or time, they have a far greater commitment to the outcome. Paying for a course or program is a sign of commitment for you and in the customer's own mind. Next, you have or will start to build plenty of free content online. People can use to learn from you if they can't yet afford to invest. You know, I learned a long time ago to give away my best stuff. It might sound counterproductive, but people get hooked on what you give and what you can provide. Again, this is all part of the coaching business ecosystem. You know, if what you have been doing hasn't worked to the extent that you want, you need to do something different. So, let's move on to the 4 steps of making a sale. I have learned that there are 4 steps to every sale. For those people who don't like to sell, and it works even if you do. Step 1. It sounds simple, but you really must have something that has super value to the buyer, and you have to price it right. There are 2 parts to this. The first element is the foundation of what you sell, the curriculum, the process, the time. Following the coaching business ecosystem, you will know your customer and their problems, so you can design something that will truly help them get the result they want. The second element is how you deliver your proposal. For example, in addition to over 50 pre-recorded video lessons, I offer weekly masterclass sessions, one-to-one coaching, loads of downloads and exercises that all help my students to consume the product. It's not just about the core program, but how you help people make the most of it. Step 2. You want to have conversations with people who are in the market to buy. As opposed to going out and shouting about your offer everywhere, you want to turn up where your customers are already looking and invite them in with an enticing offer. This is where you've already been willing, because this is the entire purpose of your omnipresence, combined with a marketing funnel to draw people in, build that relationship of value and trust long before you start making any offers. In step 3 is all about having the confidence to ask for the sale. You know, when you go out to dinner and wait for the bill, wouldn't it be weird if the waiter never brought it? You ordered dinner, you loved it, and now you want to pay. Or imagine you walked into a bookshop and picked up a book you couldn't wait to read. You take it to the sales desk, and the person behind the desk starts chatting away, raving about the book, but never offers to take the payment. That would be a real weird experience, wouldn't it? Well, the same is true on one-to-one calls or at the end of webinars. If you don't get to the offer or make a pitch and invite the customer to buy, that would be a weird experience for the customer, wouldn't it? At the end of the webinar or one-to-one call, it is the customer's expectation that you will make a pitch and ask if it's a good fit for them. Now, it takes some practice to get used to this, but asking for the sale is an important part of the process. So why don't people ask for the sale? Well, there are lots of reasons, but by far, the number one reason is fear of rejection. What if they say no? Well, that's okay. In fact, when I'm about to ask for the sale, I always say, whatever you decide, yes or no, is good for me, because I want to make sure you make the right decision for you. So what do you reckon? Do you want to dive in and give it a go? So notice a few things here. I'm putting no on the table. This means if they say no, it's more comfortable for everyone on the call. By giving people a choice, they are more comfortable saying yes because they're buying. They're not being sold to. I don't say, do you want to buy it then? I find that's a bit intense. I say things like, so do you want to give it a go? Or do you want to dive in and get started? Or do you fancy working with me for the next few months? That's a much more appealing thing to say yes to, rather than, yes, I'd like to buy your product. Step 4, it's all about collecting payments promptly. When it's a yes, move quickly onto collecting payment, booking in calls or giving people the access they have paid for. Don't delay at this stage. It makes people doubt their decision. They want access and they want to get started now. If I sell one-to-one coaching over the phone, I always book in the first session on the call, so it's in the diary and they have something to look forward to. Then I send over the contract and invoices via email. If it's a course, I make sure people get instant access, or they're invited onto the Facebook group with a challenge to introduce themselves to others in the group. That immediately shifts their focus to a sense of growth, challenge and progress, and they trust the process and just do it as you have more important things to think about. To learn more, check out my coaching business ecosystem landing page. The details are at the end of this video. If you haven't already taken the quiz, which is, have you got what it takes to become a six-figure coach? Follow the link at the end of the video. Once completed, you're going to get a detailed report and access to my free 3-video training series. Right, I hope to hear from you soon. I hope you've learned something. For now, bye.